Hello, YouTube Reseller Mom here with Tina today.
Hi.
And I'm going to let Tina introduce herself, and we are doing a wrap-up of 2021 together today. So thank you for joining us. Tina, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm Lucy's friend and business partner, so to speak. We each have our own stores, so we're partners, but we're not partners.
We are definitely partners, but there's no, I guess the best definition would be like there's no legal entity between us.
Yes.
But there is definitely, I don't know, what would you call it? Like an understanding, a marriage of convenience? I don't know.
Yes. Well, it's nice to meet you all.
Yes, so I know everybody on my channel has heard me reference Tina, my partner, from this year. We've been working intimately since February, right? But we've known each other since before that.
Yeah.
And kind of how that came to be was we both were kind of looking for somebody to join up with to expand on more bundles and private label and wholesale and that kind of stuff. So it has been amazing. And we finally got her up. She's got a YouTube channel that's linked down below, and she only has one video right now. But
I really don't have a YouTube channel yet. I have one video that's sloppy because I need to learn how to do it.
yes,
But that is my goal this year, is to make good videos.
yes. And one of our other goals this year is to do a website. So we are hammering that out in the background. We always have things going in the background, like most businesses. We've got what's going on, what you got to kind of split your time up with what has happened in the past, what's in the present, and then also what's going on in the future. So it has been amazing and has definitely caused me to grow significantly. So whether I like it or not. So anyhow, welcome. Today we are going to be doing a 2021 wrap up. And one of the things I did was I did pay for the StreamYard, the new stuff on StreamYard. So I don't know what I get, but I got I can make little banners happen and stuff now. So I'm playing around with that because this is the first stream that I've done with the new features. So what Tina and I did for everybody is we went through and we did our slides and we kind of showed what all our sales were. And we kind of went through some good and bad for both of our businesses, and then kind of collectively what we thought partner-wise, what was good and bad. And yeah, we're ready to share that with you guys and kind of go over it. I like to kind of review these things. I do it twice a year, once in January and once in, what did I say, June, 6 months into the year, just to make sure I'm on top with my goals and it's still aligned with where I want to go in life and everything. I mean, you're always kind of realigning, but I think it's good to do a bird's eye view twice a year. And in the beginning of the year, it's the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
Reflect on what happened last year. And let me tell you, the last couple of years has been crazy, just crazy. We now have, I mean, between the supply chain issues and the COVID, it's been crazy. So my slides are starting off first, and so I will go through my slides, and then we'll go through Tina's slides, and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth. And if anybody has any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them there. I see Sean's popped in to say hi. Thanks, Sean, for popping in. I told Sean he's got to come back. We've got to get him incorporated, and my CPA wants to be on too. So
oh,
I'm
nice.
excited. And then I have a couple other people that I want to collab and whatnot. So I'm hoping to have some more interesting videos this month.
And Sean has a lovely wife who I adore as well.
Yes. Tiffany is pretty amazing. Okay, so for this year, my goal was, I didn't pull that. That was one of the slides I didn't pull, was originally what my goals were for 2021. But I know for sales wise, I was really hoping to hit 500,000, and I was hoping to hit 500,000 in just Amazon FBA, but I didn't. I was short by about 25,000. Now, if I add up all my eBays and all my sales and everything outside, I probably squeezed through 500, but it was close. It was close. I did give it a good run, and let me tell you, it was another rough year. It was just I had so many suppliers that were out of things and not go my way. And it was a lot of road
As I'm
bumps.
sure everybody else out there in Amazon, Facebook land
Mm-hmm.
suffered the same.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we had, yeah, we'll get into some of the pros and cons. So then this is my sales that I track every year. So I've been doing this since April of 2015. So I've got a couple bars there. What is this? I don't feel like it's been 7 years. Let's see here. 1 year, then two, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's been about six full years, about 6.5 now. So April will be 7 years total. And I kind of like to look at this graph twice a year to kind of see where I'm at and see that I am growing. it's it's progressing upwards. I did have a lull kind of here where I didn't really have any growth. And there's other things in here that I've gone through that just aren't reflected. Like I had my house flood and my dad passed away and we had COVID and I've had, my kids switch to online school and just, things that affect your numbers that are not really in here completely. So, take everything with a grain of salt. Your graph is going to look different than mine and everybody grows at their own pace. So one of the other graphs that I wanted to compare this year for myself was 2020 versus 2021 month over month to see if the growth things that I have done are reflecting in sales bumps. So this year, some of my significant stuff was I brought on some more people. I increased my teams. I increased my amount that we're processing every month. A lot of different things that are reflected in this growth. So I really like that my summer months was much more than last year. And really all my red bars are more than my blue bars, which is what you want to see when you're going year to year. So biggest hurdles, and some of mine might be the same as Tina's. So I hope it's not too repetitive here. But biggest hurdles, toy compliance paperwork was just a nightmare this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of other people were complaining about it on the boards, but it was such a pain in the butt. Then, of course, we had supply chain issues. I had things that got stuck in the LA port. I still have Christmas stuff that hasn't been processed at Amazon.
Me too.
And that's frustrating, very frustrating. And then cash flow management is just a hurdle every year that you struggle as you try to process more stuff. You've got to buy more stuff and you've got to manage your cash flow and all that stuff. So that's always just a hurdle to do every year. And then I went ahead and I listed out all my IP complaints because you saw how many things I sold. Let's see here. I sold, I'm going to say 39,000 units this year. Just rounded up a little bit there. So out of 39,000 units, and I didn't go through and get my negative feedback, but I would say I had less than 10 negative feedbacks that I had to get taken care of, that I got everything wiped off my account for negative feedbacks. And out of 39,000 orders, I had really 4 big dings that were hurdles this year. And the first one started out the year with my Lucetta complaint that I've talked about, and I've done videos on that before, but that was kind of coming over from 2020, so I don't know if you really want to count it. Then I had a counterfeit product in May with the Glad unicorn straws, which was just ridiculous. And I wound up I think I used my lawyer on that one to help out, get that off of my account. I had a trademark infringement from Dollar Tree Cocoa Bombs, which was another ridiculous hurdle. And then I had a buyer authenticity complaint for an eyebrow pencil that was from Ulta in December. So, if you are thinking about doing this business or, kind of wondering and you're really worried about, the 2 big worries that I hear about is IP problems and, feedback problems and returns for clothing. Let me tell you right now, my return rate is like less than 10%, 10% being the most for clothing in that category and everything else being less than 10%. And really I had like 3 big hurdles on 39,000 units. So if you think that's a lot, then, that's your opinion, but I don't think that is very much. if you were looking at a brick and mortar store, I'll tell you right now, there'd be a lot of other hurdles to go through that could be problematic. So anyhow, just putting some of my hurdles into perspective there. Positives. So the first big positive was definitely my partner, Tina, who luckily joined us today.
I'm real. I'm really real.
She is a real person. From Tina, and I don't want to, like, I'm very analytic. So when I was looking for a partner, I wanted somebody that would not be the same as me, but would complement me. So Tina's very different. She's very creative. She knows a lot more on the creative side of things, whereas I'm very much more analytical. So it was nice to find somebody that complemented my weaknesses. She has definitely expanded my knowledge on G10 exemptions, which I got several of them this year, which I had not gotten any before. Making bundles, what to look for in bundles, how to research bundles, what to put in them, etc. Wholesale expansion. I mean, we've gotten, many different wholesalers, and it's kind of nice to say, okay, well, I'm bringing some to the table and she's bringing some to the table, and now we've expanded our reach, so to say. We got to go to a couple conventions together, so that was nice, ASD and the World Trade Convention, and we did get to launch several private label bundles. Other things in the office, I got two new packers, which was great, but now my bottleneck is getting my ordering under control and fluid, because it's hard to keep enough things here at the house for three packers total to pack. And I feel like I'm either buried in inventory or I don't have anything here. So it's space is an issue. I did get a VA in the spring, and she's doing okay. We're still working out some kinks on how to best utilize her skills and stuff. I had her working a lot on my t-shirt business, and recently I just had her doing more stuff on the Amazon side, analyzing things and whatnot. But if you're thinking about doing a VA, it is a good way to bring on an employee to do things like she deletes my old listings and adds new things to my repricer, just to stay up on top of some of those weekly to-dos that you have to do as an Amazon seller. Tina got me onto using Trello to keep track of all of my to-dos. My Trello board's a mess. That was one of my things today I was going to get straightened out, and I totally didn't do it. And then to organize our buy list, we've been using Google Keep, which has worked out fabulously, because you can put pictures, and then that's really helpful in the stores to just go through and look at the pictures on what you need to buy. I also purchased this year Reseller, AMP IP Inspect, and the full version or pro version of Canva, which really helps with background removal and bundling and getting your pictures up to spec for Amazon. And then planning out my warehouse, which is going to be that's like way more videos and way down the line here. And then in December, I got a new webcam and YouTube software. I'm using PowerDirect for my putting videos together, so you'll start seeing those come out. And hopefully it will fix all the bugs. When I upgraded my phone, I had all sorts of freaking problems going on. It was utterly ridiculous. I would think that upgrading your phone would make less problems, but it like opened a can of worms. And then I upgraded StreamYard. So my goals for 2022 are really simple. We're going to move into a warehouse. That's a given. I'm going to expand on wholesale and private label, keep going down that road. And that's kind of really helped me focus, because what were we talking about? We were talking about shoes. Like, I was on the fence whether I wanted to go more into selling shoes, and I have to keep going back to my goals. Does it line up with what I want to do? Is it more wholesale or private label, or is this going to Marshalls and TJ Maxx and buying shoes and reselling them? And if it doesn't line up with my big goals, then I can't keep focusing so much time on it. I got to focus my time and efforts where I want my goals to be, because I really find out, especially with Q4, I was out scanning a lot and just scanning. And while that's great and I had fun and I made a lot of sales, that's not really where I want to put my time and effort for expansion down the line. So I've got to make sure that my time is being put where I need it to be. And then we're going to get our brand registered with the trademark people. So now we've got Tina's slides here.
Yes, and as you see, I did half the amount of Lucy. And it's not without me trying. And so I'm sure some of you relate to that too. You know, we work our butts off and do our best planning and don't quite hit the goal. My goal was to get to $300,000 in sales, and I was far from that. And that was my goal last year too, and I didn't hit it. So I am still working on that. I'm always trying to change things, clean up things. But like Lucy, how she said a lot of events happened in my life and home, events happened as well. Aside from doing Amazon, I also tried to add more to my eBay. I opened an Etsy store. I focused attention on that too. So I also wasn't only focusing on Amazon. I was stretching it out to other platforms as well. And my husband last year had joined me full time when he lost his job. So that also meant taking more money out of Amazon as a paycheck to try to help cover the loss of his income. So we weren't quite able to roll over into purchasing more inventory, the amount that I had been in the previous, year before that. So those things took effect into why my numbers and why I didn't hit my goals as well. Was just what I had to take out of the business, because we're both here full time doing nothing but selling online. But I do also have income from Etsy and eBay as well. That doesn't reflect in, this my total for the year of income.
Right. And I think that's really, really important is everybody's situation is going to be completely different. Right. And when you're looking at other people's sales or what they did or how they do it, and even when I look back on mine or looking at Tina's or whatnot, you gotta think, okay, learn from mistakes and move on. Yeah. Because if you sit here and dwell on, well, I didn't hit my goal, you can beat yourself up all you want, but it's not going to help anything in the end. It's okay, I was really close. I gave it my all. What can I do better next year? And move on.
Well, I share that because I feel like for me, over the years when I've watched people on YouTube or I've read their posts on Facebook group, they're like, oh, it's my first year and I've done $800,000. And, and some people get excited like, oh, I hope to be just like you. And then other people feel like, gosh, what's wrong with me? I've been doing this so long and, here I'm still barely, at this level. And so I just want to express, the truth in these things and the transparency in it that, some people out there can relate to that, that I like to keep things real and at a real perspective. And I know when I watch YouTube videos of other sellers that I enjoy what I like about them, and what I liked about your videos when I first, saw you on YouTube is I liked the just being so authentic and real. I think people can see that. And I relate to that.
Well, I hope so. And thank you. And we've talked many a times about other people that have posted things and they've gone from, 0 to millions really quick. And you're going, wait a minute, what are they doing? Because
was it capital? Is it smoke and mirrors? What is their debt? Did they take out loans? I mean, there can be so many factors to these things. From the beginning of my Amazon journey, I've always done it debt free. I've never taken a loan. I've never done credit card debt. Actually, until this year was the first time I used and I've used my credit card, don't get me wrong, but I've paid it off. Like I've never had this rolling balance. This year was the first year I thought I'm going to max out my credit card and my business credit card. And I did do that. And then I paid it off with, my bigger check in the Q4. I've always been a little bit scared of debt, but I know that in order to grow, I'm probably going to have to consider doing that. I haven't decided yet. For now, I feel safer doing the debt-free route.
and either way can be done. I
Yeah.
definitely have some debt, and we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that my CPA and I talk about is cash flow and debt.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did do this Q4 was get a cash loan or
Yeah.
whatever it's called, because I'm going into a warehouse,
Yeah.
and with that it's going to be expanding, and I need to hit a particular goal within a certain amount
Yeah.
of time, and I want to make sure that I have enough cash flow to float myself till I
Yeah.
get to that goal range, because going into a warehouse is going to be a huge step, and it may succeed, it may fail. I don't know yet. I hope I will succeed.
Of course. Yeah. And
I
I do
will give it all
too.
my all, but
Yeah.
it's definitely scary. And
It
with
is
that,
scary.
I have seen, just to throw it out there, there's a lot of, I'll call them influencers, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or on Instagram or whatever, that when you start really digging in or doing some research on them, you find out that they're not doing as much selling on Amazon as more of selling their courses to pay the
Right.
bills, or
Right.
doing, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I have seen so many drop shippers get on Facebook and complain that they have been shut down from both Walmart came down on them and Amazon. And they're like, other people are like, well, were you drop shipping? They're like, oh yeah, I was drop shipping from Alibaba. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. You did not
Yeah.
have a very solid business plan there, did you?
Yeah.
It's you got to
Hey, and
research
as you
these
see,
things.
even doing it the right way, you get hit with an IP claim, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. IP claims can hurt, and definitely hiccup you big time. But it's a struggle. And if you do ever, like, one of the reasons I really like working with Tina is we're both, um I don't know what the word is, but legit. Like, we pay our taxes, we have insurance, we do things
We follow the
correctly.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we follow the rules. And I'll be honest, some of the people that are out there that make a little bit more money, it's because they're not following quite as many rules, and I think that in the long run they're not going to be successful, you know, for many, many years. So if you just want to do this business for like a year and do a get rich quick scheme and not follow the rules, sure, there's ways to steal people's money and whatnot. But we like to do things kind of the right way, because I'm in this for the long haul, not
Yeah.
for a quick buck. Just like those, I get a lot of Facebook ads, buy my stupid product, and then you find out that they pretty much set up shop, ran a bunch of Facebook ads, got everybody's money, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, some of you guys' stories on people stealing this year were definitely interesting too. The theft out there was quite crazy.
Now my slides look different than Lucy. Yes.
That's okay.
So my hurdles were finding a bookkeeper. I am good with my own personal finances, but Amazon's finances, God bless you, is a different animal. And I just wasn't great at doing my own books. I find it just much more complicated. And I have gone through a couple of bookkeepers because they really just did not understand e-commerce bookkeeping. And I think, and I'm hoping the one I have now does, he seems to. And the CPA is going to be going through all of their work to do an audit, so to speak, of my book. So I'll see what she comes back to say. But that was one of my big hurdles, and understanding my cash flow. Again, when it comes to personal financing and budgeting and money, I'm excellent. I'm very, very good at money management. And my history is I always cut hair for a living before doing this full time. And I have owned two businesses of my own, two salons, and I understood cash flow there too. But with Amazon, I struggle a bit, and the way our payouts are different. It's commission based like cutting hair was, but it's different. And those of you doing Amazon understand what I'm saying. And like Lucy, supply chain was an issue. People they just didn't have in stock, or they didn't keep in stock things that were my replens, from wholesalers, that when I run out, I just order more. Well, they don't have any more. They're not expecting any more till January, February. This was an issue. I buy some things closeouts, and they weren't having any inventory because the regular wholesalers who normally would liquidate it ran out, right? So then that was an issue. And what they did have left, they were charging double and triple on some things that it wasn't going to be profitable for me on Amazon. So that was a hurdle. My IP claim, my big one that's still on my account that I'm clearly not going to win, was a non-purchase IP claim from a company who's not Mattel, but they are they did a non-purchase IP claim for a bundle of Uno cards that I got from Target. It was 3 different styles of Uno card decks that I bought legit. Amazon will not accept my Target invoice, and the brand person who is putting that against my account will not respond to any emails, despite all of my best online stocking of them. And so that one I cannot seem to win. Then this El Paso warehouse in Texas is not open yet. It's built. They're accepting inventory in El Paso, and they are not open. So one of my brand new items that was for Christmas, it can be for all year, but it was launching for Christmas, and it's something that has an expiration date on it. Amazon decided to send it to El Paso, which is supposed to now be open sometime in January. The date keeps getting pushed further and further. I think it was originally supposed to open this summer. And so I put in a product removal for some units to see, are they shipping them back? How long will it take? And so far, I've got none of those back. So I don't even think they are allowing product removal. So I just have stuff sitting there. So I'm sure some of you may have things at El Paso too, and it's stuck in your stranded inventory, which also affects your IPI score, and you can do nothing about it. Another hurdle for me is keeping up with Google Sheets. As Lucy mentioned, I'm creative, she's analytical. And I love the Google Sheets. I actually do. They're neat. Everything's there. I know where to find it. I love it. But keeping up with putting the things there, because I'm like, yeah, I'll do that later. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And I eventually do it. And I do get it there. You'd have to ask Lucy if I'm keeping up with it well enough. But
I don't keep up with it as much as we could either. But I mean,
and she's great at creating the formulas on the Google Sheet. I'm not. I can put the stuff on there, but I can't do all the fancy formula. That my brain just doesn't do that. And my last hurdle would be sticking to a schedule. And I'm very disciplined. I work very hard every day. That's not an issue. But my best intentions are, Monday I'm going to do a shipment. Tuesday I'm going to shop. Wednesday I'm going to do eBay. But then maybe I didn't finish that shipment on Monday, so it carries over into the Tuesday schedule, and I seem to fall off my track. Maybe some of you relate to that too. My wins were partnering with Lucy, and it allows me to feel like I have a coworker that I can say, hey, do you have a letter for this? What do you think of this idea? It's just really nice to have somebody that you feel that you can trust to share your ideas with, somebody who gives back what they take. It's not a one-sided relationship, and I like that. Another win was ASD opening again. It allowed us to get to go shopping, and it wasn't too crowded, which was nice because usually it is. And finding a VA. So I found a VA, 2 of them this year. One does graphic design stuff for me that I just don't have time to do. And the other one is cross-listing things for me on List Perfectly, so I can then cross-post them onto eBay, Mercari, Etsy, wherever it is I want to put them, and that has helped. Another win is opening an Etsy store. That has done pretty good. I'm proud of it, and I look forward to growing it. And Again, Google Sheets for the win because I now have tabs to stores that have replens on there. So if I want to go to Target, I can open my Google Sheet and there's the links to everything, to Amazon, to the Target listing, how much it cost. I love it. I really love Google Sheets. And then trying out for this coming year is trying out hopefully a YouTube channel. If I can figure out how to film properly, and thinking of doing Instacart maybe one day a week just to help boost up some capital without having to take a loan. So Instacart only takes your time and your gas money. We did 3 deliveries and it was okay. It was a little bit fun, just because we weren't taking it too seriously. And trying out subscription box based business on Etsy possibly. We got a Cricut machine for Christmas. We've already tried it out, did a couple of iron-on for shirts. And it's kind of fun. And so we thought, well, maybe we can use this Cricut to make things for our Etsy store. So the Cricut can be fun for personal or work. And then Brickseek. I look at Brickseek from time to time. I know a lot of sellers dedicate their time to Brickseek, to finding the hidden clearance at Walmart and Lowe's and the stores that are on Brickseek. I just do it once in a while when I'm in a mood. But Brickseek now has a phone app. So I did download it and I thought that might be useful, and it might be useful in store. So I want to try that out this year too.
Just a second. I have not downloaded the app, but
yep, they have an app.
I will right now.
So that 2022 goals slide is a little bit what I already said about the YouTube, the Cricut for profit, expanding Etsy. I kind of touched on that already. Again, going back to the money is really mastering that money knowledge with my Amazon payouts. How much of that payout should I allot to pay myself? How much should be to inventory? How much should go into my savings account towards paying taxes at the end of the year, etc. Just really understanding that formula for mastering my money. Building on my wins and learning from my losses. So the things that do well, for instance, let's say I have a bundle and this bundle consists of 1 cake mix and 1 frosting, and that bundle just really did well. Well, how about I expand on that and add all the flavors of cake and frosting, because that formula did well. My losses might have been I decided to pair a yoga mat with some dog biscuits because that makes a lot of sense, and it didn't do well because it didn't do well. So I'm not going to do silly formulas of things that don't go together. No, that's a bad example because I would never make a stupid bundle like that, but I think you get the idea. You try them out and you keep repeat the formula. If that formula worked the first time, you do it again on the new flavor, the new superhero that's out, and don't repeat what didn't work. I mean, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. And I want to try to grow my eBay store more, focus on it a little more than I did this last year. In 2021, I cross-listed a lot of Amazon things on to eBay. And when I used to only do eBay and not Amazon, I was going to Goodwill and Savers and buying thrift store items. So we decided to go to the Goodwill bins here in Las Vegas right before Christmas, and I spent $16. And we got a haul of, I want to say, maybe 10 things, and I've sold 2 of them already. One was a motorcycle jacket for $100, and the other one was some Nike baseball pants for $18. And that is a lot better margins than Amazon has. So in part of that scheduling goal, I would like to really spend 1 day a week doing eBay, and doing it the old way, going to the thrift stores.
It's the old way.
The old way, meaning don't cross-list brand new Amazon inventory, but go get the deals at the thrift stores. End of year cleanup is what I've been working on now. and that is purging unsold inventory and selling it either via auction, donating, or repurposing. So my unsold inventory, I have some piles in my house right now. And I will take some lots and I will sell them on a website called boxfox.co, not com, but just co. And you can scan through your phone and you can list bulk items however you want to do it for auction on this website. I've been using them for 3 years, and you set the minimum of what you want your auction to, what you want your minimum to be, kind of like an eBay listing. The beauty of it is the buyer has to pay for their own shipping, and you get to decide at the end of the highest bidder if you want to accept that or not. So I love the control you have over this auction. So some things will go to auction. Some things I just don't even want to deal with it, and I donate them to Goodwill. You get that tax write-off slip, and then you go shopping to find stuff to sell on eBay while you're there. And some items I will repurpose. So maybe it's an item that I had that was a standalone item that didn't do well, but maybe I can incorporate it with something and make a bundle out of it. So some things I've repurposed and then did really well with it. And cleaning up my office, my desk, I want everything fresh after you've decluttered, like it's my first day in business. I like to give myself all of January to set everything up. Just really nice and start the year fresh. I feel like I'm so long-winded.
Fine.
I hope your listeners are not going to sleep. Please wake up. And then last would be home and work-life balance, because let's face it, we do work from home. So you do, your lives intertwine. For those of you who have kids at home, they come in, they need help. You have to stop working, do homework. I don't have kids, but I have laundry. I've got laundry. I mean, I've got to do things. I need to go grocery shopping. I need to make food, and I have to establish working time and when I take breaks and do home stuff. You just really need that balance. I found myself this year getting in a state of urgency of like trying to get my numbers up on Amazon. I had that goal to hit. We have to get our money up. So I tended to hyper focus, borderline obsess over business to where I quit balancing the home life. I let myself gain weight. I didn't exercise. I was eating garbage. I wasn't cooking as much. And that's not good. That's not good for your health, and it's not good for your mental state. And if you want both to flow cohesively, you have to take care of both. So that's why I have about meal prepping and planning a menu, so I don't just eat Ritz crackers and peanut butter. And then exercising, because it is a stress reducer to exercise. You sleep better when you exercise. I think it gives you more energy in the long run if you exercise, and I need to do this. So I really want to have that work home life cohesive again. I had it like that, and it fell apart this last year.
Yeah, I wanted to add that, we're all doing this so that we can, for whatever your personal reason is, and mine is so that I could be there for my kids and be involved in the things that I wanted to be involved in with my kids, and not, always. I was at work a lot. I was at work 60, 80 hours a week when I was working, and it was ridiculous. The demands were like, screw your family, I don't want to say slavery, but it felt some days like I was in, that I lived at work. I have literally.
And then you came home too tired to be the mom and wife you want to be.
So if you're doing this, you've got to balance it out, and it's an ongoing struggle. And some days you kill it, and some days you do more work, and some days you do more home, and it's just it's an all the time flow. And laundry doesn't ever end.
We all have it. Yes.
And then the other thing for end of the year cleanup, like, I agree with most of the things you're doing. I usually do some that is for donation, auction, but this year I'm trying to learn more on campaign and ranking things. So some of the products that we have that are not doing as hot as I'd like them to do. I'm trying to go through and see if I can learn how to get things ranked up with advertising and PPC campaigns,
Yeah.
which is something that I don't understand as well and haven't played in depthly with
Neither have I.
as I probably should have.
Yeah.
Sean says you can do Marie Kondo paring down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to do that
Totally.
too.
Totally.
I'm so bad. Like, I'll have, my favorite shirt or something, and it's clearly something that I shouldn't be wearing anymore. It's got stains or holes or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a new shirt, and then I'll get rid of this shirt, and I get the new shirt. And then I'm like, but I can't part with my favorite shirt. And then now I have a closet full of rags and some new stuff, but I do
Yeah.
need to go through it. I did the Marie Kondo a couple of years ago, and it was fabulous. And I got all the way to like the momentum part, and I haven't gotten to that last
Yeah.
step, but I need to go back and revisit because
If this inventory does not bring you joy, Lucy, get rid of it.
there are some that I've like taken a little bit of anger out on and then thrown it away.
Yeah.
It's just
Funny story. When I was a kid, I went to a very nice private school, and I wasn't one of the rich kids at the private school. My mom volunteered at this school's thrift store to help get reduced tuition for me. My father died when I was a little girl, so she was a single mom, and so she worked at a grocery store. So we weren't a rich family, yet I went to school with a lot of elite rich kids here in this city, and we didn't have uniforms at that school. The school to this day now does have uniforms. In fact, Dana White's kids go to this private school now.
I don't know who Dana White is.
But
Should I know who that is?
Dana White, he is the guy that runs UFC. Anyway, the guys know what UFC is, fighting. I shaved his head before when I worked at Mandalay. So anyway, back to the school, my thrift store story is my mom worked at this thrift store, and she would buy me clothes at this thrift store. And that's what I wore to school, and always praying to God that the clothes weren't donated by one of the kids I went to school with. And that year in the yearbook, I won best dressed for the 8th grade class. And it's like, here I was, the poor kid, wearing, thrift store hand-me-down clothes. So I thought, yay. And here I grew up to go thrift store shopping still and sell it on eBay.
Yep. My kids are finally kind of at an age now where they've been doing a lot of money. They have little debit cards, and my son has a job. He works at Papa Murphy's, and they're starting to understand some of the value and things and appreciate some of my finds.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's awesome you're doing that. A lot of people don't teach their children how to manage money. And you need this when you go out in your adult life. They don't teach us this in school. So I think that's awesome that you're doing that.
Well, just they've got to, work with it and see what things are. And, we had I don't want to say a long talk with my son, but my son was in a car accident at the beginning of this year. And then there was a law change here. Hi, Eric in Ohio. Yeah, you're late, but that's okay. Thanks for coming. It's all
Eric's
good.
like, wait, that's not Marcy.
So our insurance went up by like over $300 this last month in December.
Wow.
So it went from $250, $300 to like now $630 for car insurance. And my son was working, like 4 days a month, and I'm going, okay, so it's costing like $75 in insurance just for you to drive to your job for you to make like $50 for your 4-hour shift. So anyhow, we've been talking to him about that, and he's getting ready for college too, and so we've got a lot of money situations going on.
Yeah.
On that front, but it from a personal standpoint, just throwing it out there, it's not just harder for everybody selling on Amazon. It's been harder for everybody in general. I mean, talking to my kids about the pandemic and just how disruptive it's been in their life.
Yeah.
It has been crazy. The store, going and getting groceries. Not only do groceries cost more, but then there's things like there was no milk the other day. There was no bread the other day. And I mean, we're making it flow, but it's just, it's tougher than it was before.
Yeah.
And I still call it first world suffering. We're not really suffering at any time, but it's not easy.
Right.
Victor was going to get ribs today. He went to Costco, and of course, every time we go to Costco, it's $300 plus bill for food for the week. And he was going to get ribs, but he was like, a pack of ribs was $55.
Wow.
And you know, I'm just trying to shop as many deals as I can when I'm out working and whatnot, and save where I can. And you know, teaching the kids that we repurposed both a ham hock and a turkey carcass into soups this week because it's snowing, and how to make more, how to make your food go a little bit further, because when you're feeding 4 people, if we go out to dinner, our bill is going to be between $150 and $200 here. And you know, if you can feed your family for under 20 in my area, that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
So anyhow, it's rough. Whoa. There we go. I think, yeah. My mouse is sometimes switchy. Eric thought about going on a diet, but then I remembered I don't like dieting. Oh, you cracked me up. Yep. We joined the gym again, too. I'm not excited about it. It's been our big date nights, is going to the gym.
My numbers are not that impressive to me. 2016 is when I started that summer, and I was working full time, still cutting hair. 2017, I was working full time, still cutting hair. 2018, I was still working full time, cutting hair, and left my job at the very end of 2018 in October of that year. And 2019 was my first year at home, and my husband was still working. And so you see, those years were growing. Then my husband, at the end of 2019, lost his job, and he was home with me full time in 2020. And as we all know, that's also the year that COVID hit. And so I thought, well, with both of us, our numbers will really be growing. But then going back to my story at the beginning of us talking, is that's also when I had to start paying us more, because he wasn't getting unemployment. It wasn't a situation like that. Like, his money just ended. And so now we're trying to support 2 of us with just Amazon. So, you know, when you see that that's the picture, that wasn't so bad when you consider it was COVID, and now we have to support both of us. And then this year we grew just slightly over last year, and then just barely above that 2019 year. I would have liked to have seen that number jump tremendously like yours did, but it didn't, you know, but it wasn't for lack of trying. It just was circumstances, but I'm still very proud that we've been able to maintain and still work from home together. I love it. Working, we thought it would be a crisis when he lost his job, and what were we going to do? Well, with 2 of us, we can grow this business. And even though that didn't happen, I cannot tell you how much it has strengthened our marriage and our relationship. It's like our marriage, it just took a complete turnaround for the better. And if you would have asked me that when we were working full time, if you could be with your husband all day long, would you? No, because I thought I would have killed him. It's like, the answer would have been, oh my God, no. I want my space. But I love it. I love being with him all day long. I really do. And with COVID and not having the social aspect of working in a hair salon with clients and coworkers, I love his company. I love it. So there's that.
You're so nice. I'd kill mine.
No, you may
He's
be
here, but
you might be surprised.
I gotta have a little bit of boundaries there. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm getting cramped in my office every day that I work in here, and the crampiness creeps in on me.
You feel closed in.
Yeah.
And you also have packers that work for you. You have kids at home. You do have more going on. I've got 2 cats and a husband. My kids are grown and raised and gone. So it's like I don't have the same hustle and bustle in my environment.
True. Brenda brings up a good point that you are still working on it and you haven't given up, and that in itself is admirable.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate that because sometimes I beat myself up. So thank you.
yes. Well, and I have to say, what you guys don't see in Tina's numbers here is her profit margins are better than mine. Her sale price point is better than mine. She's got a lot of stats that are better than mine that I'm going, gosh, I would like to be more like Tina. And we have to, I don't want to say check ourselves, but learn from each other and not take it as comparison or a negative. We have to take it as a positive and focus on that. And I see it as you've had a lot of hurdles and you are still making a lot of things work with more and more hurdles. So
Yeah.
do not beat yourself up. And, I strive to have my average sale price more like Tina. She's like $5 more an item. I'm in the $14 range and she's like $20 range. So I'm going, how could I get higher dollar items and get a better, like, focus on more profitable items? She finds things for like $2 that make $8. And I'm going, that's like 400% profit. Whereas I'm scratching 20-30% a lot of days. So, there's a lot to learn out there and grow. This is your sales by month for this year.
Yes, and in the month of May, I wanted to die. You can see that. I thought I was absolutely going to die. So I think I had a mini meltdown in May because I was scared. Let's face it, with numbers like that, I was frightened. And then I got my momentum back up again. And I remember something had happened that month, and but now I can't tell you what it was, but I do remember something had happened. But yep, that's
Was
it.
that
That's
the
the
Uno
numbers.
month?
It looks like the ocean. I don't know.
No, was it the Uno month?
No, the Uno month I think was in October, before I went on vacation, because I remember thinking, oh well, I'll deal with it when I get back. And I did go on vacation, people. I actually took a trip to Mexico. Went to Cabo in October for Halloween. Yes, I did. I had to. Being cooped up with COVID, and I needed a break. I for my sanity, I needed to get away. And I am so lucky because my cousin and her husband live there. So I didn't have to pay for a hotel. I used the points on my business credit card to buy the airline tickets. I think I had to pay the taxes on it like a couple $100, and I got to stay for free with my cousin. So it was a vacation on a budget to Cabo, and it was worth it.
I need to schedule me one of those too, because
Yeah.
it's been, my big vacations this year were to go to 2 funerals. So,
To do what?
2 funerals. And
Oh,
funerals are just not very relaxing. And I had to work on most of them. So it was,
yeah. But you did get a motor home this year and got to do some fun little getaways.
yes. And we're looking at doing some more things with that. So that's pretty exciting. But the beach sounds really good. I've had a week of snow up here for those in the Northwest. We've had some unexpected snow. So Cabo sounds very good right now. Let me see. There we go. I think, yeah, this is the second to the last slide. Well, the last slide with stuff on it. So we kind of went through at the end of kind of putting our slides together. And Eric says, where can I get Tina's BOLO list? No shit. Oh, sorry. No shoot. I shouldn't curse on
Did you
here.
say a naughty word?
Yeah, sometimes YouTube gets upset about that. But anyhow, we wanted to go through and kind of talk about our experience of being partners, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And oh, good. Sean, sorry, I'm such a squirrel person today.
Just so you guys know, I can't see your comments, so Lucy has to read them, or I don't know.
So Sean just said that Tiffany called and she got to Kohl's safely, so that's good. Yeah, it's been bad. We've been watching the fires over in Colorado, which has been bad too. Okay, so we sat down and we're like, let's go through being partners, our reflections on the good, the bad, and the ugly, what we liked, what we didn't like, some of the things that really were helpful and some that were not so helpful. So I'll just share one and then you can share the next one. Sound good?
Yep.
So the goods, are a trusted coworker to kind of bounce ideas and to vent frustrations and to review things, like why is something not selling or plan of actions. And this has been probably the biggest thing. Like I'm part of a tight knit group. That's what, Sean's in our tight knit group, and I love having them there too. But sometimes, you want to vent about a customer or whatnot, and having somebody that's in the business that you could just have, hey, listen to me for a minute. I gotta just get this out is sometimes nice. It's so nice to have, because really my kids don't really want to hear it. And sometimes my husband's good, but sometimes he's like, I don't really want to hear about your crappy customers and like they're terrible in of itself and whatnot. So he doesn't really want to hear it sometimes. So it's nice to have that. And then like there's been times where we've shot each other, look at this listing, what's missing, why is it not doing well, or can you look over this POA, how does it look, does this invoice look good, whatever. It's been very nice to have somebody that you could trust to bounce those ideas and bounce those frustrations off of during the work week.
Is that right? Does the silence my cue to go?
Yeah, maybe I should cue you up.
So sharing the workload and what that is Lucy may look over, let's say, the Kohl's website, and I may look over Target's website to try to find items to sell, and we'll put it on those Google Sheets that we talked about. And she'll say, hey, I added some of the things to the Kohl's Google Sheet, and oh, okay, I threw 3 onto Target. So sharing the workload. And also now that Lucy's learned to create listings, now she also creates listings and I create listings. So, it can double the amount of bundles that are made and listings that are made when you are sharing the workload with somebody. So that's definitely a positive.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Craig, how are you doing tonight? Good evening. Yeah, sharing the workload has been huge. I mean, we're looking at, I took on some bundles and then you're taking over, almost said Shamrock Day, St. Patrick's Day.
Shamrock Day.
Shamrock Day. You're doing a St. Patrick's Day and Easter, and I'm doing, a couple other ones. And, just being able to say, okay, you do this bundle, I'll do this bundle. And then, we work on that and then we meet back up at the end of the week. So it's been nice. Several good listings, bundles, and then evergreen profit makers. So one of the other things that we do go through is we go through and say what is selling well and what is not selling well. And then, we're trying to do more of the stuff that is selling well and less of the stuff that's not selling well. And this goes for both bundles and listings, but also vendors we like. We've had a couple vendors that were just awful, just awful to work with this year. And then we've had some that have been a dream. Like you order stuff and they actually send you what you ordered in a timely fashion that's not broken or expired. It's our standards are low here, people. We just want you to do what you said you were going to do. And sometimes that's really hard. But having that, going through and figuring out what's good and what's bad and bouncing that from each other has been really good. Because there's been times where I'll try a listing out, and you buy a test buy, you buy 3 to 5, and if I send in 3 and all 3 sell in one day, I'm like, Tina, you need to go buy this now. And sometimes we've bought 3 to 5 and then they sit there for 3 months and you're like, yeah, no, don't get those. Don't get those.
And so the bad on the some finds were not good. That just sucks because you don't make money, you spent money, and now you're not making it. And it's nobody's fault. I mean, you make your best decisions by using Keepa, and we all do the things we're supposed to do, and some of them just don't pan out. It happens to all of us. And balancing time and efforts and the good days and the bad days. Sometimes I feel like Lucy's doing more than me, and I'll tell her like, you're making me feel lazy, and I'm an early bird and she's a night owl. So she'll say, well, that's not true, because sometimes I feel like by the time I get up, you've already done a day's worth of work. So sometimes I think we each are taking on feeling like I'm not keeping up with you, or you're doing more than me, so sometimes we make our own selves feel bad when we're working together, and then on the good days and bad days, sometimes Lucy's just having a really crappy day and she needs to vent to me, and it makes her feel better, and I in turn have the same thing. We'll both be on a listing, and this has happened on 3 listings that I can think of, where we were both on the listing. Lucy sold all of hers and I can't sell one of mine, and I'll be like, why are you selling on yours and I can't even sell one? And so sometimes that's bad when if I had the listing all to myself, would I would have sold it, or am I just jinxed? It's nobody's fault. It just happens.
That is one thing that I really wish, and if we get it cracked, if we can crack that code, I wouldn't mind sharing it with others. But I'm telling you right now, we have both been on the same listing, same price, and
but
for
we're not
some reason
colluding.
huh?
You just have to say we're not colluding.
Yeah, and the buy box doesn't rotate. And I'm going, I don't know if it's because we're in different locations, or if it's based on feedback or other matrix going on with our account. But from what we can tell, our accounts are roughly the same age. We have roughly similar feedbacks. It's not like, I have 8 million and you have, you're a new account or anything.
Right.
So that is something that's been really, really strange on the Amazon algorithm side that we're kind of looking into, because it's just so bizarre. And going back to your item that got sent to El Paso, I have the same item, and we
Yeah.
literally both sent in 30 units at a time, the same time. Mine went to one location and went fulfillment transferred to 3 other locations. None went to El Paso. They took Tina's and sent all of Tina's to El Paso, and then decided not to open that facility for over a month. And I'm going, okay, I don't understand why they did that, or what was going on, or what a lot of things with Amazon are numbered based, algorithm based, coding based. And so there's got to be some way to figure out how to figure out why things are happening the way they are happening, because we've had a couple of bundles that I get the buy box, and I'm selling a couple of units here and there, and she's like, I haven't sold any. And I'm going, well, shoot, we're the same price. We both are West Coast. So I don't know. If we can figure that out, then we will share. But for right now, it's been tough. The balancing time and efforts, I'll just say, it's when you're working with a partner, I do have to say that Tina works hard. And that is something that I did want to look for in a partner. I didn't want somebody that was just going to, show a lot of effort up front and then be a couch potato 3 months down the line, which we've all dated that person, or been with that person, or had that roommate or whatnot, where they have a good front and then later they peter out to nothing. And we have to kind of look at our week, and we have to plan our week according to our schedule. And Tina's schedule is much different than mine. So a lot of times I'm up late at night, and I'll be sending her messages that she'll get in the morning, and then I get up in the morning and she's already been up for 5 hours. So, we've got to balance that. And sometimes finding time, like today, we found a time to make a video, which was good. So balancing that out and finding a time when we can work on things has been, I don't know if it's bad, but it's different. The ugly, we both have a tendency to get down on ourselves when we're comparing things, including numbers, efforts, hours working, finds at stores, sales, approvals for wholesale accounts, and ungating. And we both have to kind of work on that, because it can be very frustrating. I know that other people, including Tina and myself and whatnot, we've gone to stores and we've found great buys, but then the other person can't find them at all, and vice versa. And that could be very frustrating. Did you want to touch on this too, or?
No, I just feel like this is one of those things that, I mean, it doesn't come between us. I don't want people out there to think that this is something that, hinders our friendship or relationship or what we're doing. It doesn't at all. These are things that you put upon yourself, your own
Mhm.
person. And, um, and I'm sure some of you might relate to that, even when you're in Facebook groups and you hear a person say, oh, I just found this, you know, number 3 ranking toy on Amazon, and I found 870 units of it at my local store, and they sold out in a day. And here you run to, 80 of that same store in your city, and you don't find one. And you're like, why can other people always find the thing and I can't? You know, these aren't things that we maybe say out loud, but we feel them inside. If you're not lying to yourself, you do. And so this is just, the ugly of it when you're sometimes working with someone, and it could be a situation like that. um and like I said, that doesn't hinder my relationship with Lucy or her with me, but these are things that we put upon our own selves. And and I want to practice more self love to where I don't do that. I don't want to compare myself to someone else. It's like trying to keep up with the Joneses. I just want to keep up with Tina. I just want to be Tina and do Tina's best.
For sure, for sure. And um, it is very hard when you are being an entrepreneur to find that balance. And I would say that's the number one thing is the balance and the comparing to work every day, because there's days where I'm like at 2 o'clock, I'm going, oh my gosh, I just need a break. I need to step away from the computer. And there's other days where I will work until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I was feeling really guilty this week because we've had a lot of snow and my staff was all off. And so I took some rest days. But then I look back in the beginning of 3 weeks in December, I was busting my butt working insane hours because it was Q4 and I was trying to find as many products to sell as I could and make as much money as I could during the busiest time. And it makes sense that this last week I take some time to rest and relax and recharge.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. You
you,
deserved that break.
you feel a little bit guilty, like I should be working. It's hard to go from working 120% to 40%
Because
and not
everything
feel
will fall apart if I don't work 24/7.
yeah. Yep, yep. And your numbers really tank after the 25th. I mean, they pick up a little bit, but a lot of my inventory is sold out, so my numbers are just awful. I went from making, whatever between 2 to 5,000 a day to, 500 to 1,000 a day, and just overnight. So, you have your numbers tanked down and then you're not working as much and it can really start to eat at you on the inside.
Yes, that's why you have to practice self love and self care. I don't
Mhm.
know if anyone relates to me.
Yes, I think everybody does. It's just not as talked about. And yeah, I get frustrated. I'm on like the Walmart clearance group in Facebook, and I tell you, I see clearance finds every day. And every day while I'm watching TV in the end of the night or whatnot, I will see those and I'll go over to my Walmart and I'll try to find them. Haven't found a single one.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
not.
you go there and you're in the toy aisle, and then it's like all of a sudden you draw a blank, like you lost everything that you were looking for.
Well, I just look for them online. Like everybody's posting
Yeah.
about Pioneer Woman being on clearance right now. Not a single one in my area. Not a single one. And I don't know if it's just we're the last to like go on clearance for Pioneer Woman or what, but it's just never there. It's
Yeah.
never, never, ever there. Same with I'm in the Bolo group that's linked down below, the FBA Insiders one, and they post a lot of bolos. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice group, and I tell you though, I don't think I have found maybe 1 to 2% of what their posts were. Just either I'm not out at those stores or they were out of stock online, or by the time I found them and was able to go to the store, not there. And
Yesterday I found that what's it called? Magic mixies,
yeah,
the cauldron thing.
yeah,
I finally found 2 of them out in the wild, and when I scanned it, the profit, um, you know, you would break even after, if I bought it for the price that it is now and what it's going for. I would have absolutely like maybe made $1. Like, oh, that's why I found it, because now it's not costing 100 and something dollars.
yeah. let's see if I can, there we go. Haha. I'm learning how to do these. Yeah, I have so many things that I just don't find out there. So it's been frustrating. But you got to focus on what you can find and what is working. And it's been the same with suppliers too. We had some really good bundles that the suppliers just didn't get the stuff in.
Yeah.
Didn't get
And
the
if
stuff
I'm
in.
being honest, I don't even really enjoy trying to hunt down these bolos. Like for some people, the hunt, that's fun. And I get that, and that's why I love that there are so many different business models with Amazon. Some people love, love, love toys. Other people love clothes or books. And it's like, I feel like if you follow the thing that you already like, you're going to tend to be more successful because you already have interest in it. And,
Right.
so if I'm being honest, I don't necessarily love the bolos. If I'm in the mood, I really do like to go to Walmart and do hidden clearance because it's fun,
Mhm.
but it's usually when I'm already caught up with everything else and I feel like I have time to do it. What I
Oh, for
really
sure.
love is bundles. I love finding and creating bundles, and I also love knowing that they're not going to be saturated, and I'm not scared of them. I've been doing them since I started Amazon. I actually started my Amazon store by doing bundles. So I'm not afraid of putting a listing up there that's going to be ranked to 0 to start.
Mhm.
Some people, that's scary to them. They don't want to take that chance. They want to see that it has rank and that it's been moving.
It is it's a different beast because like I've been working on this one bundle and I probably put in at least 8 hours of work into it. And I don't even have the products. I haven't even sent them in yet. So I've invested 8 hours and you think to yourself, well, I could have gone scanning for 8 hours and probably
Yeah.
found, $1,000 worth of stuff to buy.
Yeah.
But I have to say, that's going to pay off in the long run because once you do that initial research and stuff,
That's right.
it's not going to be as much going on and you're not going to have the competition and such. But it is a different beast. And that goes back to when I look at my week and what I'm doing, I could go out and do more scanning. But honestly, with my kids and the couple of packers here and then the snow and then the COVID, it's been really difficult to get out and actually scan. And it's not something that I truly enjoy either. And for business expansion, I know a lot of people hire people to go out and do shopping
Yeah.
for them.
Yep. There's people that do
And
that too.
I've thought about that, but again, it doesn't line up with my goals. So
Yeah.
I am going more with the bundle route with you and finding those evergreen bundles and getting those listings that are ranked up and then evergreen and whatnot. And that's kind of where I want to go for at least definitely for this next year, if not the next 5 years. I don't want to with the way things keep changing, I don't want to kind of project too far out in advance here. But that is all I have. Oh, shoot, there's been 2 comments. I was I was focusing on the little banner things. Eric says he's knee deep in Gabby Dollhouse, too many sellers. I and that's why I do like the Bolo groups for that. Like I wouldn't have known about Gabby's Dollhouse stuff if I wasn't on Bolo list. But I went and I scanned all like 3 on the shelf at my stores, and I could not find a single Gabby's that was profitable this Q4. And I kept seeing everybody else selling Gabby's, and couldn't find anything.
Now, is Eric's the dollhouse he has is tanked now? It's not good anymore.
He says, "Yeah, too many sellers on there."
Yeah, because if it's still within the return time frame, I am not against going to the store and returning items that I didn't sell if I feel like I want my capital back. I have no
Yeah,
shame in it.
that's and I've done like if I have kind of a few more than what I'm comfortable returning, I've done them, a couple different returns.
Yeah, you break them up.
Return 5 at one store and return 5 at another store or something. Shay Girl says she sold out, got out, didn't find the dollhouse, found everything else. And then Brenda says, which Brenda's somebody who I chat with. She's an Instagram friend. So, and Shay's returning Nerf guns soon. So Brenda says, correct, maybe not focusing on catching the butterfly, refocus on something else in
Yeah.
relation to one's business. The butterfly will land on you when one just focuses on meeting your individual goals.
I love your words. I love the way she puts things.
Yes. Yeah, returning Nerf guns. I've got a return on my desk for Spider-Man stuff that needs to be returned, but it came back to me as return address unavailable or something like that. But I'll be returning that one to the store because it's beat up. It's beat up. And I might sell it on eBay. We'll see. But not too bad with the merchant returns this year. I did not touch on that in any of the slides, but I think I had about.
Knock on wood. You better knock on wood.
No, I know we still have to the 31st. So what is that? Like 29 more days of returning. But I'm crossing fingers that it's not too bad. Not too bad this year. All right. Well, if anybody has any other questions, you need to speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm going to pop over to that one. Mute. There we go. Give everybody a few more seconds. And then don't forget.
And if they want me to come back or not. I maybe was too long-winded.
You're coming back whether they like it or not, because I like it. I think it's, I don't want to say more fun, but I do enjoy having somebody else on the channel. And since we do so much work together, it makes sense to have you on more often. And we'll hopefully get your YouTube channel built up. So then that way.
I'm going to try. I really am going to try.
And yeah, we got to work on our website. I think we're good on a name, but we got to finalize the name and then buy the domain and all that stuff and do the back end. But our website, just so that you guys know, is going to be a place where we have a lot of resources for everybody and ability to do one-on-ones or things like that. It's going to have some more private help, tight niche type of stuff. Did you want to add anything to that? Did you have anything to? Am I on the right track? We haven't hammered out the details, really.
I just know that when I've, watched other people teach how to do certain things on Amazon, they leave out so many important steps that when I try to follow them, when I'm trying to learn them, I end up stuck. So it's like, I just want to help people, and I want to help people that maybe don't know how, say like a GTIN exemption, how to truly go through and do it, or how to do your own, what I call a white labeling, where if you can't afford to do brand registry, you can, do a white labeling brand, which I have done. So it's like having a brand without doing the expense of a brand registry. And just things like that. I want to help people with all the right steps.
Yeah, the brand registry, I mean, we haven't done any videos because we haven't walked through it. We've touched it, we've circled it, we've done a few research bouts with our brand and getting it up and going and trademarked and everything. But it is, we haven't hammered it out. So I haven't done any videos on that. Another one that I was like, I'm debating on is a Squishmallow video. I was able to use a particular website and get ungated for Squishmallows, but Tina did the same thing as I did, and she did not get ungated. So now I'm like, okay, I have that video ready to go. I was going to make it live today or tomorrow, but if she, she did the process and it didn't work for her, then I don't know if I really should share that or not share that, because I don't want people to go and try to do it and then not be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try doing it, uploading my stuff again. And if I get ungated in Squishmallow, which I hate that they gated it. I've been selling Squishmallow for years.
Yeah.
So that stinks. But anyway, if it works for me, then yeah, Lucy will share how to get ungated in Squishmallow, which is a big one.
Here, I'll share the website really quick that I used. But again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I went with the TOYNK website and was able to get ungated for Squishmallows with that, with the Minnie Mouse 8-inch Squishmallow one. Anyhow, Tina did the same thing, couldn't get ungated. It does not say invoice. It's a receipt. You have to print it out and annotate it. But it didn't work. So if anybody else has any idea for Squishmallows on a better website, please holler, because it's utterly ridiculous. And then Shay Girl asked about DS Amazon. So I looked it up and it looks like it's $20. And I must have paid for it because I went here and it's like I have it up here in this little thing, and I like it when you scroll on your Amazon stuff, it has all of this little information, the rank and stuff, and I use that a lot in my searching. So it's a one-time fee of $20. I must have done it. I can't remember when I bought it. But yeah, I don't even remember when I bought it. It's been on there for so long. But I do like that. Is it our website? Let me know and I can PM what we sent to you. Is it your website? I don't know, but go ahead and PM Tina, because it wasn't the website that Chuck used. It was a different website. It's been great for OA. Just wanted to confirm. I assume you're back to talking about DS Quick View, Shay Girl, and yeah, the OA Quick DS Amazon Quick View Extended is really great for OA, and just looking and seeing, it tells you the ranks, it tells you how many buyers are on there. It's a really great little extension. I'd show it to you, but I got a bunch of stuff in my cart on Amazon, so I can't really show you. Okay. So Sean's going to send you something, see if that works. So if we find something that works, we will share it. I don't have any problem with that. It's just finding stuff to get ungated with Squishmallows. That's been tricky. So I hope that has answered all your questions out there. Let me double check the chat and then we will wrap this up. Nothing else in the chat. So we will go ahead and end it here, and had a blast, and we're looking forward to 2022. And other than the sad news of Betty White dying, I was really looking forward to this year and her birthday. But it is what it is, and I'll try to look forward to 2022. And we've got a lot of great plans going on, so pretty exciting stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Shay and Brenda and Craig and Sean, for joining and chatting and asking questions. All right, if anybody's watching the replay and you got questions, go ahead and leave them down below. And Eric, have a good night. Take care, everyone.